Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some really bad MLM advice because typically in MLMs, really what good advice is there other than to look at your own ethics compared with general ethics of whatever culture you live in and a profit and loss statement for yourself. So this is her response to a anonymous questions could not possibly be written by herself. As someone who's only 3 months in and not having luck with any sales, what advice do you have? I'm sharing and showing up, but it's discouraging. Can you imagine if this is someone like way deep down in her downline, just a random, and like her upline's not helping her? She's like, I'm gonna reach out, and then like she's gonna feel reignited to stay in the MLM because her like tip top boss babe on her team chose her question to respond to, or this chick, something happened on her team, and so she's acting like someone on her team whose situation is actually happening, and she's making it look like someone else is asking this.
I got this question the other day, and I'm going to twofold this. I'm going to show you how easy it is to work your business and show up on here while you're solo parenting with 3 kids about to go to the beach. And I'm going to give you some dynamite advice when it comes to sales in your network marketing business. What I've learned is that the majority.
Oh, before she gets into it, there is no dynamite advice to be successful in an MLM. There's actually no advice you can really take because it has nothing to do with whatever the you can put into it as far as work ethic.
Majority of people that come to your page aren't looking for the products and they're not looking for the business opportunity. So if every single post, if
Right. And that's why you also have to become a content creator, not just sometimes I make funny videos for personal reasons. It's because you're in an MLM now. Now you're going to essentially treat your social media as though you're an influencer because not everybody wants to see your MLM. And yeah, I would agree with that. Do I think it's really advice though? No. And I'm guessing, because I didn't watch this all the way through, I'm guessing it's going to be something about you need to make every other post or every 2 posts not MLM related at all. Just completely personal. The problem with that though is when you've been around the block enough with MLMs, you can see that their social media, for whatever reason, even when it's not MLM related, it is still in that spectrum because you want it to come back to the MLM ultimately. It's to keep people on your page. And I used to do it, and that was taught on our team.
every single reel, if every single live has to do with your company or your product or the business opportunity, it's going to feel like a constant sales pitch and people just tune the out. Bless you. People are craving, bless you. People are craving connection. So you want to share with them more of your day to day, what you're doing, what your interests are, what you're even struggling with. That is going to create trust and connection. When people
Yay, emotionally manipulating your audience, emotionally manipulating your team and your customers and your future customers. Get them all emotionally tied to you because that's the only way to get people to join your team or be interested in your products. Isn't it crazy that the products actually in MLM don't speak for themselves? Isn't that funny? You have to be fake as fuck and get on here and act like the products that you're shilling are so transformational and so different than you can get at like Publix. Really, really, they're not. Really, they're not that special, I find. And a lot of times, what I don't like in MLM is they will brag and boast about how their product is different. And then it's a proprietary blend. And I'm not going to go into my rant about proprietary blends, but I think it's a bunch of bullshit because it's not that special, and proprietary blends get away with disclosing less than a nutrition label. And so I am not a fan of being like, look how different it is. And it could be, I am going on the rant. Look at me. I'm a big fat liar. Okay. But really, this is, you guys, I'm going to bring up the saffron one from Amare. It could be this much saffron. You can't even see it. Over all the products, not saffron in it, bitch. And you don't know how much. And you know how much it takes to be effective because you're just an MLM or selling the products and believing whatever the company tells you.
feel like they know you and like you, they become more curious about what you're doing with the products and the business. And then when
It's funny because even doing that, still most people don't give a flying about the products or the business. Does it help when you're effective at emotionally manipulating people, especially virtually? Yeah, obviously.
Sharing that with them, it feels way more genuine and way more authentic. So my biggest piece of advice to you is one, stay consistent, girl, keep showing up, but provide content that creates connection. So share your story, share your why, share your interests, because it's not about doing less, it's about doing things differently.
I think what also bothers me about this one so far is that when I was in MLM, I was still in a place, well, I was like 21 when I joined, right? So I was still in a place where I had no idea what I like. I don't know what hobbies are because I work too much. And you don't really know yourself at 21. You really just don't. But encouraging people to stay in longer and keep putting in the work, I think is a little bit up, because even my upline said to me, I would have quit if I was you, because if I wasn't getting the money, I would have quit by now. Which makes sense. Which makes sense. That would be the correct action.
And doing things differently, that's what's going to build trust amongst your audience. You're doing great. And I always say your breakthrough is right on the other side where most people quit. So stay the course.
Well, most people have every right and reason to quit if they're not seeing the money. If they're not getting what they need from their upline, yeah, I would say within the first month, I don't think anybody should join. But if you're going to do it anyway, it's not like I have a say in your life, but if you're going to do it anyway, my advice would be to give it a month. And if you don't make at least make your money back, then you need to reassess. And I feel like you should have a guilt-free walk away from that. Be like, oh, it didn't work for me. You don't need to explore why. You don't need to do mental gymnastics like that other chick in one of my videos said. You don't need to do that. It's not worth it for an MLM. Go have big brained ideas while you're getting paid on the clock. Okay, go scan some shit for Amazon, even though Amazon's not a great company. But imagine you're just like beep, beep, boxing shit up, and you have other thoughts going on in your head. What could be better than that?
Or stay consistent, but release the fact that every single reel, every single story, every single Instagram post has to be about your products or your business, and start letting people in to get to know you. So there we go. I just worked my business.
Yeah, because you need to get raw and real on the internet. You need to be vulnerable on the internet, or people are going to buy your products. Peeper, that is, I think I have a speech impediment. I've been saying peeper on this channel for so long. It's probably the only time I've been aware of it, is editing it back and realize I'm saying peeper instead of people. Good grief. Don't start a YouTube channel or create content if you can't stand the sound of your own voice, or if you can't at least laugh at yourself, because sometimes this shit's ridiculous and I just edit it out.
So that's how easy it is to work your business and show up on here. And now we're off to the beach.
What's that ending supposed to be? Yeah, I spend so much time with my kids, and I just fit this business in the nooks and crannies of my day. See, I'm home with my kids, but like you're still working. And you need to get paid to make this little video. You get paid for that. So what kind of a good use of your time is that? Oh, I was pouring into others. I was pouring into my team. Stop pouring into people. So instead of going to work and actually bringing home a check, you're at home with your kids and not bringing home a check. Not her. She might be successful in MLM, but a lot of people are not making money. So it is not a good use of your time.
So I asked in my Instagram story yesterday for you to drop some spicy questions that you don't think I would answer. And I got a couple PG questions, and then I got some like really good ones that we're going to dive into. So if you know me, or if you don't know this about me, I will answer any question at any time. So I definitely thought there are a couple that I wasn't expecting, but there's 7 on here that I wrote down. So we're just going to get right into it, and hopefully he does not wake up. So there's a couple about business, there's a couple about mom life, but I think it's a good blend. So let's just start.
In the business are all questions that my team gave me so I can make this live, but really everybody knows the fucking questions, because it's just a rat eating its own shit when it comes to Hamlin. Why is it all the way over there?
Really appreciate you. Okay. I've always admired the fun, love, and support you pour into your team. It truly shows. I wish I could be a part of your team to grow alongside that kind of energy. Love that compliment. I do have an upline, but I haven't experienced real growth since becoming a DM. If you're not familiar with how the Arbonne management works, the first level of management, there's 4, is district manager. So that's what DM means. I'm also working full time. I really would love some guidance. Okay, so I'm like two-folding this. So one, I think a lot of the times in network marketing in this business, you become so fixated on the numbers and promoting especially in, my success line. We have a very powerful success line. We are, these women are, there's promotions always happening, there's growth always happening in regards to numbers. But I think you need to first identify the growth that you want to have in your business, because you can't say you're not growing if you don't know what growth you want to experience. So first you need to identify identify what type of growth you want to have in your business, right? You can't just be like, I want to grow, I want to grow. And you can't just say, I want to grow to the next level of management. Like, what does that mean, right? Because in this business, like I said,
I don't think you need to like bare your soul to get yourself to the next rank. I feel like you shouldn't have to do that for a job. I feel like your work ethic should be the majority of what makes that happen for you. But in MLM, that's not how that works. You have to sit here and spin your wheels in your brain endlessly, almost for nothing, in hopes that you will promote to some rank. Why do you need to do all of this for free, might I add, when you could go start your own business? A real business, not like a shady MLM. You could go start your own business if you feel like you can actually handle that. You're doing all this work for free for an MLM in hopes of a sale. You might as well just be an influencer and sell products that you already have in your house and be like, "Oh my god, I love this mouse." And have the link in your wherever you put it. It's maddening when I see people have to give so much half-wit advice that isn't really actionable. It just gets you to sit there and spin your wheels in your brain or on a piece of paper and not actually gain anything from it. It just helps you sink further into that sunk cost fallacy that I'm sure if you're not pro MLM, you're familiar with.
a lot of number focused. you know, in order to promote to another level of management, you have to hit a new like quota every month in regards to volume, your numbers. So a lot of the times we think, and myself included, I did this for about 4 years of my business. I thought,
You know what would be cool is if you get yourself an education, if you can still make that happen for yourself, you get a decent paying job. Hopefully it comes with some bennies, Hopefully it comes with some bennies. You decide you need more money. You're like, can I put more into a second job? Yes or no, and go from there. Or is there a way to advance where I am right now? Does that require an extra certification? Whose ass do I need to crawl up to make it happen and be on them until I get that promotion? Do I need to do something else? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to maybe switch careers, which might not work for you? I feel like there's other things you can do other than sit here and try to meet a larger quota to promote for free. Like most of that work you're going to be doing for free in hopes of a sale. If every time you made a post, people bought or joined from your MLM, you should be doing something else, I think. I feel like there are bigger opportunities, sponsorships and stuff like that out there, and limiting yourself to an MLM, I don't think it's the way to go.
only way I was growing in my business was if my numbers were increasing. And that could not be further from the truth, right? There are so many ways that you grow in this business and your numbers stay the same, or you're growing. Even, I'll give you an example. I've shared this with you. This past December and January and February, they were the lowest months in volume, right? Numbers for my business, but I was growing so much as a leader, as an individual, as a coach. So I felt amazing because I wasn't just basing my growth and labeling my growth off of just the numbers. So that would be one of my biggest pieces of guidance for you is one, you need to identify the growth that you want to have, but then also don't just attach your growth to a number, because if you do that,
That is exactly how I probably should have attached my growth when I was in an MLM. And I should have seen it for what the fuck it is and what the fuck it isn't. Instead of sitting here being like, oh my God, I grew, I self-developed. And I'm not here to take that away from anyone if you actually self-developed in some measurable way, not regressing into an echo chamber that is MLM. But I don't think that you need to stay in an MLM to keep going on that path.
you're never going to feel like you're growing. Or the second those numbers decrease, or you have a slow month, or somebody leaves your team, or whatever the case may be, you're going to feel like you're failing. So identify your growth, what growth you want to have, but then also don't just
would that not be completely normal and completely okay? I don't need to be grateful for shit I can get somewhere else that isn't making me money. Like, I don't need to be grateful for, like, but I still grew the later. Okay, in the back of your head, but money is money and you need it. Everyone needs some fucking money. So I don't need to stay and be like, "But at least I grew as a person, but I couldn't pay my light bill." We're not going to sit here and grasp for crumbs and act like that is equal or even holds a candle to getting some fucking money. Let's not do that.
Attach your growth to numbers. And then twofold with this, I'm assuming this is a female, but she said, I have an upline, right? I have an upline, but haven't experienced real growth since becoming a DM. Okay, this is probably not what you're going to want to hear, but you know I'm always going to give you tough love because you need to hear it. Your growth in your business and in yourself is not your upline's responsibility. It's not. You have to take ownership on the growth that you want to have. So if you are in a position with your business that you haven't experienced any growth in your business since promoting, or you feel like you're in the same spot since the beginning of the year or even last year,
Yeah, because it's all on you. The onus in MLM is going to be on you because the MLM can't take responsibility. The people in corporate who know exactly what the they're doing, and they know they're getting you to exploit yourself and your friends and your family in hopes that you'll make money, but they know the numbers. You're probably not going to make any money. In fact, the money's actually going to come from you in your pockets because you're the ultimate customer in MLM. So they can rely on you for that, at least paying that auto ship every month so you can get your check, depending on what MLM you're in, of course.
is your responsibility to have that conversation with your upline so she or he can support you, right? So it's not your upline's responsibility to grow for you, but she can be there to support you through that growth, if that makes sense. So my biggest piece of advice is, once you identify the growth that you want to have in your business, identify the areas that you feel like you can improve on in your business, and then go to your upline and have an honest, full transparency conversation and say, listen, I want X, Y, and Z to happen before the end of the year in my business. I feel like I'm not getting full like support from you. I need X, Y, and Z from you as a.
What really, though, in an MLM could your upline do other than disperse their enrollments under you in some way, depending on what your compliance looks like in your MLM? What really else can they do?
Leader. And if she's like, listen, I'm not at the headspace, or I'm not, I don't have the bandwidth to support you to that capacity, then you need to continue to go up to your direct NVP or your direct upline, like direct VP upline, until you get the support that you need. Because everything is your fault. That's my motto. You have to take responsibility to experience that growth for yourself. Yes, your upline is there to support you, but she can't grow for you. So it's your responsibility to take the bull by the horns. So I do find that a lot of the times people blame their upline for their non-success or their stagnant of success. It's like, you need to go to them and say, okay, this is what I want to do before the end of the year. This is where I'm lacking. I'm a district manager. I want to go VP by the end of the year. I need tactical ways to grow a team. I need X, Y, and Z. And then if she.
But we can't actually place blame where it's due, and that's on the MLM. It doesn't even need to be a distinction of what MLM. It's literally just MLM because they're all based on the same idea. By the way, if you're not familiar with Arbonne and their super cool and official rank names, instead of double princess star unicorn, they have rank names that make it sound like they're working a real job. A district manager, that the reps are not the district manager of Arbonne. It's just the rank name. It means nothing more than the label for the rank. That is it. No one's a rep and a district manager or an area manager.
Especially when you're trying to get to a certain level in your company, right? Love the brutal honesty. Always, Laura. So that is my two cents on that. I have two more here. So, do you ever fantasize about quitting it all and going offline? Yes. Not so much quitting. I would never, this business, I've said so many times that it's given me such purpose. And I think over the last 6 months, I've realigned, maybe like 8 months, I've realigned with my purpose to a deeper level. I've continued to say that I truly do not give a about the numbers anymore. All I care about is helping more women experience just winning.
You don't care about the numbers, but you want to help as many women as you can. as though that doesn't directly benefit you. Why can't you do that without the MLM? Why can't you quit and just turn it off? Oh, because the numbers do matter. The financials actually do have a big impact. Unless, of course, this is like auxiliary income, in which case, I guess who gives a fuck? But like, there are better ways to do it, I feel.
And growing and seeing that they can actually do this and live a big life and make money and be.
Oh, except most women don't in MLM. Most women don't do that through the MLM. They don't have a big life through the MLM. Let's look up Arbonne's numbers because I feel like I've been harping on the numbers, but then she doesn't care about the numbers. But let's just see. Wait, I'm trying to find it, and they have careers. They have a careers tab. Oh, so these are if you actually want to make money, you can actually work for Arbonne, not as a rep. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay. The average annual earnings for consultants is $188 annually. Sometimes we see these numbers and they don't really say the time period that they're talking about. So, annual earnings, a year, in a year, consultants on average make $188. $180. Is that worth even making a post for? Ask yourself that. Is that worth the auto ship you're paying? Is it worth the back office? Is it really for $188 a year? That's me. So 85% of independent consultants, which is a first rank in this company that they have listed. So it's the majority of people in this MLM make $188. 4% are national vice presidents, and those people on average make almost $200,000 a year. But again, we're not talking about profit and loss here. These earnings do not represent independent consultant expenses, right? They don't represent as in they do not include, because let's say incurred in the operation of their business, like the registration fee, which is $99, the renewal fee, which is $99 in 2023 anyway, event registration fees, travel, office supplies, insurance premiums, products purchased for business purposes, etc., because there's always more. That person, that $188, they already lost that right there between joining the business and the renewal fee. They already lost money right there. God forbid they bought any extra products or office supplies or something. Like, do you fucking hear yourselves?
Like there is nothing more than that. Like that. Like seeing seeing go region, seeing
People, I do believe that she's genuinely happy for her downline. Yeah, I can see that being true because I experienced it myself and she's not a fucking robot. But also, we're pretending like it's for altruistic reasoning and it's not, because it also benefits her for them to do well. It directly financially benefits her if they are doing well. And not because, oh, I'm a manager and it benefits me because I get to keep my job if my people are doing well. No, it's your team, because a lot of times it's them doing all the work and you do just enough to be able to take home the big paycheck, because they're not the ones typically taking home the big paycheck, if anyone's getting a big paycheck.
women go area qual and build to the next level. Like there is nothing better. There's nothing better. But do I have fantasies about just like going offline? Of course. I think, sometimes I'm like, I just need to be away from my phone. I need to be off this app, right? Like sometimes I definitely have that energy around it. But when I feel that way, I take a step back. I take a day off from like posting, or I'll post one or two times. Like I also know that this app and Instagram, whatever platform you use, I've connected with so many people, and I do truly use this app as like my diary to my journey. So I think it's how you use the app.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Using the internet as your diary. I feel like that has implications of, I put stuff on here that if I had another job that offered me essentially the same things, I wouldn't fucking be doing this, because I wouldn't need to speak about these things online. I wouldn't have to do that to get people to buy from me, or whatever your job is.
That will change your perspective. But there are times where I'm like, oh God, I want to delete every single social platform. I do. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. But I also think this is the first year that I've taken a step back, right? I take my reset day where I don't post at all, and that alone.
Uh-oh, she's gonna jump ship. How many times have you seen, if you have MLMers that you've like checked on here and there to see if they've made it out yet, where they say, I'm just taking a step back, I'm not quitting, and the next thing you know, they've fucking jumped ship onto another company because this one's so much better and so different. This is the one for me, and I'm never gonna quit. I'm a lifer. But they said that about the last company. How many times have we seen that? I call them MLM hoppers for a reason, and I wonder if this could be a foreshadowing.
Helps me so much. I take moments where my kids get home at 4 o'clock from daycare and I don't go back on my phone until they're sleeping. So little boundaries that I've set and I've actually stuck to has helped me not feel that way. But there are definitely moments where, yeah, I do want to delete everything and just like live in the woods. But there's also so much beauty that comes from putting yourself out here on this app consistently, and connecting with people crave connection. And when I can connect with a random woman on here and they're like, wow, what you posted the other day, like it got me out of my like dark hole. Like what you posted yesterday made me get up and go for a walk and like get back into my fitness. Like little things like that. This app is beautiful. It's just how you use it. So I hope that answered your question. And last but not least, I think I did all of them. Yeah. Have you ever felt addicted to the hustle? Yes. So I will share with you something that I feel was my breakthrough this year so far. And I think this happens in every single high achiever. Every single high achiever, you experience this. You reach a goal and then you're like, okay, but now what? What's the next goal? You reach an income goal and you're like, okay, well, how do I reach the next income goal? You reach a certain level of management and you go, okay, well, how do I get to the next level? How do I get the next accolade? How do I get the next promotion? How do I get the next recognition? Like any high achiever is going to feel that way. And it can become a goddamn rat race.
Sure, in a normal setting, you can feel like, what's next for me? What's the next thing I can do for myself? But in an MLM, it is because you can never rest and you can never count on getting a paycheck for the work that you've put in. It's not the same as going to work every day and at least counting on yourself, knowing generally the hours you're going to work, and that generally is going to reflect on your paycheck because you showed up and did the work. That's not how it is in MLM. You cannot relax because you will never be able to just run your auto ship and maintain your rank. Like you can't rest in an MLM because everybody always needs help. You always need new blood. Have you heard that one from MLM? You always need new people coming in the door because it feels worse than the restaurant industry, which has like a high turnover rate, famously, I feel like. I feel like it's worse than that because at least if I was training at a restaurant, I would get paid for that. I've always gotten paid for trainings. I didn't pay to be there. I got paid to be there and get the training done. And that's not the same in MLM.
Right? So, network marketing, it is a blessing and a curse that you are always wanting the next thing, right?
Okay, this is actually painful and sitting through this because this is my first time watching this part too. So it's painful for you, it's painful for me. Let's put an end to this one. If you like this video, give a little likesy poo. If you have commentary to share with the class, leave that down below. And if you super like this video, share it with your besties and make sure you are subscribed so you can see all my videos. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.